Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about a model shoot, like being on a shoot and how to act and those kind of things. So I've done, of course, tons of these. One of the earlier things I did in my career was actually develop models for most of the big agencies, first in Miami and then here in New York City. And I got a question yesterday or the day before, and it was pretty simple. It was like, how should I act on a model shoot? Should I be more professional? Should I be fun? And my short answer to that was just be yourself, But then it occurred to me, well, okay, that's true, but at the same time, maybe it would be worthwhile to go a little more in depth into it. And I wasn't going to write a huge thing, so hopefully you're watching, and I'll send the link to the person that asked me the question. The thing about shooting a new model or a paid shoot, this is actually, I should also say you're getting paid to do it. So, but I'll say this because the reason why I mention this is because the person said that, paid shoot. But the way that I look at all things is that when you're doing a photo shoot or you're doing any of this kind of stuff, you should treat every shoot like it's a paid shoot. Always operate as professionally as possible, because then you don't have to turn it on and turn it off depending on what you're doing, and you should just be comfortable doing it. So, I said be yourself, and that's what you should be. If you are going to be a people photographer, then hopefully you're good with people, talking to people, dealing with people, making them feel comfortable. That should be part of who you are always, right? You shouldn't act differently per se. That being said, I'm going to kind of run through a little bit of like what I do, on model shoots to maybe make it go a little more smooth. So one thing that you want to do is to not break the rhythm. So model's going to show up, they're going to be, tense or whatever, they want to get this done. Maybe you're going to do 3 looks. Let's say that's what you're going to do. That's kind of standard. And usually it's like 3 looks plus a headshot or something like that, or sometimes you do 4 looks. Anyways, whatever you're going to do, you're going to have them bring way more clothes than they need, right? That's number one. Partially because that's going to take the stress off of them. If you say only bring 4 outfits, bring 1 dress, 1 jeans, 1 whatever, when they show up with just those 4 outfits, and then you're inevitably going to be like, oh, it'd be cool if you had a red top, and they'd be like, oh, I have red tops at home. So no, it's like bring your whole closet. I always tell people you can't bring too much, and you're going to spend the first chunk of the time with the model looking at the stuff together. You're going to narrow it down to, let's say we're going to do 3 outfits. You're going to narrow it down to the 3 outfits you think are going to work. Then you're going to have them try them on. Why? Number one, you want to see it on, because it's, a lot of times with clothing, unless you're really experienced, it's hard to tell what exactly it's going to look like when it's on, especially if it's something that's very form-fitting or whatever, or has like an odd shape to it, or straps, So you're going to have them put everything on. The reason why we do this is because then we're also making sure that they have all the pieces, right? Because that's the other thing. You're in the middle of the shoot, you're like, oh, get that dress, they put it on, then all of a sudden they don't have the right belt for it or whatever, blah, blah. You want to have them put on the entire outfit. They're going to come out of the dressing room, they're going to be dressed exactly like they would be for the photo ready. You're going to look at it, make sure you like it, make sure everything's comfortable. If things need to be clipped or whatever, make sure you have the right clips to do it. Then they're going to take that off and put on the next outfit. They're going to lay aside all those pieces in a pile. Same process with the next outfit. They try it on, you make any changes, you go through the thing, whatever. You try on all these 3 outfits. Then you have them put away everything else they brought. Pack it all back up. Doesn't matter if it's going to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Get that stuff out of there. All I want is the exact outfits we're going to wear with every piece right next to it. Why? Because as we're shooting, and I say, okay, let's go to the next outfit, it can just be grab the outfit, change, boom. We already know what it's going to look like. We already know all the pieces of it. Not digging around looking for it. It's not a big mess in the dressing room. Organization is key. And also, this is going to teach you to, when you start doing catalogs and stuff, if that's what you do, or bigger editorial stuff, this is how it is, right? You're going to have all this stuff. You want to stay organized. So organization is super important, right? We're going to have them try on each thing. They're going to put only those outfits out. And when we go to shoot, there's not a big pile that they're digging through, to do it. Because it doesn't seem like it's messy when you first start. But when you're halfway into the shoot and you have all this adrenaline going, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're looking for a piece. Oh, what did I do with that one? Okay, she's going to take 20 minutes to change. You don't want that. You want to keep the rhythm going. Rhythm is important. The other thing that you need to do is make sure that you're explaining to the model, especially in a new model shoot, what you are doing, right? If somebody is new, they're gonna feel like every single time you look at the back of the camera and then make a face like this and then you go fix something, they're gonna think it's their fault. Doesn't matter if the light didn't fire, you wanna put a gel on there, whatever, you're changing the f-stop. Tell them what you're doing, even though they probably won't understand. You wanna do this because that's gonna help them, number one, learn, especially if it is relevant to them, like, okay, your nose is a little crooked, so I'm changing the light over here to make it so that it's better, or turn towards the light because that's gonna make the light more even on your face. When you explain what you're doing, it's gonna make everybody feel more comfortable. Whenever you're just sitting there quietly doing stuff and they're just staring at you, remember you got a person that's just standing there looking at somebody, wondering what the hell's going on. And they're basically being judged. So in order to keep the comfort level up, you always wanna be explaining what you're doing. So it might seem silly, they might not even know. That's why you probably even hear when you see me shooting stuff, I say things like, oh, I'm focusing or whatever. I even say that to models that I know and they know what I'm doing. If I'm taking the time to get a good focus spot or changing my focus spot, I tell them that. Why? They don't really care, but they do care because it's like, okay, why aren't you taking a picture? What am I doing wrong? You know, that kind of thing. So you want to let them know this is what I'm doing. I'm making a change in the camera. I'm doing this or whatever. It makes it much more simple for them. This way we can move through the thing. So if you're going to use a makeup artist, and it really depends on what kind of model you're doing and what exactly they're for and blah, 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 do the outfit thing first, right? Because you want to go through with the makeup artist, the outfits. And then really think about the process of the makeup, right? You want to get shooting right away. You also don't want to have to take makeup off. So always start with the cleanest makeup. This seems really simple, but if you're new to it, maybe not. You know, you want to start with the cleanest makeup. That's going to take the longest, and then build up for it. Also be upfront with your makeup artist. Let them know certain things. A good makeup artist, by the way, will point out to you certain things. They'll be like, oh, they have like really good skin, but they have 3 pimples. What should I do? And usually in that case, just leave them because we'll retouch it, right? Well, but if they have overall bad skin, they might have to put foundation, but also it might not look good with what they're doing, right? So you want to talk with the makeup artist, get an idea, right? Hopefully you've had some of these conversations before the model shows up, but that doesn't always work, right? So simplest makeup to most complex. Generally with the outfits, I do that as well, in the sense that not that the outfits are simple or not, but the idea that the outfits are the ones that are the more complex lighting, I build up to. Because you want your first shots where the model's just getting comfortable to be the ones where they have the most freedom to move around and stuff. You don't want somebody who's already stiff and uncomfortable to be like, okay, you have to remain exactly like this because I'm doing this exact shot with this very specialized lighting. You want to make the first shots looser, right? Bigger open light, let them move around, get a sense for how they look. You know, you want to get that kind of stuff out of the way, you know? And also if there's any shot that is going to be one that they're dreading, you want to do that shot at the beginning as well to get that out of the way. So when I say that, it's like when I was shooting for models in New York, every model would do the same. I used to call it the Vogue shot. They'd do this shot here, right? They'd be like this. Let's see if I can do it. They'd be topless and they'd be like this, right? Every single one of them. So that was like the shot for certain agencies. They always wanted that shot on the front of the comp card. Basically, they're going to be topless, right? I mean, nothing's going to show, but certainly they're topless in the studio, and the makeup artist is seeing them, and the assistants are seeing them, the photographer is seeing them. You want to do that shot first. It might sound like, oh, let them get comfortable first, but no, because if they've never done a shot like that, and they are waiting the whole time to do it, every shot coming up to that, they're going to be nervous. They're going to be, oh God, no, next shot I have to do this. You just get it out of the way. And the thing is, this is where not being a creep comes in, right? It's just a body, right? And they have to learn that. If they're going to be models and they're basically, you do runway shows and all kinds of stuff, they're going to have to get comfortable with themselves. Don't draw unneeded attention to it. Just make the shot, be professional, and be done, you know? Don't constantly be like, oh God, you know, just be like it's nothing. If you feel like it's nothing, they'll feel like it's nothing. Everybody should just be chill. Get that done, get any of those controversial shots done, anything where they might be uncomfortable, get all those shots done first. The one exception would be if somehow that shot's gonna mess things up, like if the uncomfortable shot is you're gonna be splashing them in the face with paint or something, you know, and get like cool. Obviously you can't do that first because that's gotta be last, but I probably would make that a shot you'd do on a day with only those shots. So that's the other thing. a typical kind of model portfolio day, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be doing like the nice beauty shot. You're going to be doing a couple of full length shots. You're going to be doing a casual shot. So typically you're going to want to do, them in that way. So hopefully that helps. Now, what I would want to know is how many of you guys actually shoot model portfolios like this? Do you guys do the things that I'm saying, or do you think this is, something that you will incorporate now that I'm telling you this? How much experience do you have doing it? What's the average? I'd be curious now, like what the average age of people that are models that you shoot, because I feel like that might be shifting. When I did it for the agencies before I became more of like a catalog photographer, almost all the models were fashion, almost all of them were very young. And I sense that might be getting older, because with the Instagram models and also stuff happening, I feel like there might be people getting into it a little bit older. So maybe they'll be a little bit different on set, than let's say a young girl might be. So, let me know. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. Ring the bell, and I'll see you next time.